My headphones, yo, every time I'm about to do it, my headphones die. Granted, I probably just need to charge them in this real fast. Granted, I was jamming out on my walk. I'm at a new library today. And they got like this little cozy place here, which is nice because I like the background. So, hey you, happy Tuesday. I really have to think hard of what day of the week that it is. How are you? I'm doing live super early today. I'm not going to be able to do my 2 o'clock live today because my daughter has an appointment and I'll be in commute. I'm picking her up early from school today. So I'll be in commute, and then by the time we get back to the house, it will be basically bath time. So we're going to have to eat out today and everything, and just a switch up of everyday routine of the week. Hello, Van Day. How are you doing today? I'm doing well. The sun's out. Today is gonna be the last nice day of the week. The sun just came out actually about a half an hour ago, and tomorrow is gonna be cold and rainy, and the weather is dropping. Today is 79 degrees today is the high, and then the rest of the week is 60s, and then it is going to go down to the 50s over the weekend. So I'm going to soak it up as much as I can and enjoy the weather as much as I can. You said no language, no voice message. What are you talking about? What's up, Aztec? How are you doing? Listen, I was researching Aztec Warrior last night. And another thing is, something made me research your real name, because I was like, there's no way that that's your name. And if you didn't know, your real name means God's gift, a gift from God. I was like, that's pretty interesting. But I thought you would want to know that little tidbit. What's up, Keith? Y'all, I was like, none of my regular people are going to get on because I'm not doing a live at my regular time. But thank you. Only peace can follow your thoughts. Absolutely. Always thank you for blessing the timeline. And you said my India. Yes, Van Day, you're checking in from India, and my name's India, so it kind of just goes together. How beautiful is your day getting already? Oh my gosh, so many amazing things happened to me today thus far, and it's not even lunchtime yet. Thank you for asking. You know what? Every day I'm testing. I'm always in testing mode, and I don't know when this started. I can't really date it. Maybe since 2024, since July 2024, every day I get up and I feel like I'm playing a game. I'm testing a lot of people, a lot of places, a lot of spaces, a lot of experiences. I'm just testing, always in test mode, always evaluating, always watching, listening. So I had a very interesting day. So I was going to go, woo, the bees. I'm trying to remain as calm as I can because the bees swarm and surround me every day. I shouldn't say swarm. They surround me every day, and it's supposed to be a really good thing. So I'm trying to get acclimated to them, especially because I want to move somewhere warm, particularly Texas. I've seen Texas license plate twice today, and I've seen the number 40. I've lost count. I was like, I'm going to count today. But I see it so much that it's too much. It's too much for me to count, which made me think of, I'm going to have so much money that I'm not even going to be able to count it, because the amount of money and abundance and prosperity that I'm going to have is just going to be too much to keep hold of, too much to count. I'm just going to give it away to everybody, to like people who rock with me. So far my day's off into a good start, which leads me to my description, my topic, which is never beg a beggar to be blessed. Because the day that I had today thus far made me come and want to talk about this particular topic because of something that happened to me this morning. But my entire day has led to this topic of conversation. So I'm going to spend, I probably could be out here till like 12, and then I gotta keep it moving. You're very welcome for researching your name. Thank you for the emojis, Vanday. I don't know what that means. I'm abnormal anyway. We good. How's your day going, Vanday and Keith and Aztec? Pizza or tacos? Both. I haven't had no pizza and no tacos in a long time, so I need both of those in my life right now, honestly. Manifesting is natural. We just gotta create better stuff though. Facts, yo. I want to create so many better things, so many better programs, so many better experiences. I just want to continue to be what I don't see and inspire and motivate people through the things that I am being and not waiting around for other people to create it. Good, good. You're in Africa or India? Which one? I thought you were in India. Let me find out you're in Africa. As you enjoy having a blessed day, knowing a part of you knows how to trigger your mental treasury. I like that. Mental treasury is fully opening, allowing you to walk in your abundance and resourcefulness with every healing breath. Oh, you're doing a healing party. Dag, like I need to I'm gonna have to charge my battery. I'm gonna try to be out here till 12. In my healing service, I asked what would be beautiful for your life to be like to bring healing. That's a good question. I'm gonna have to ponder that. Okay, but let me share my day and some things that happened to me that had me come up with this never beg a beggar to be blessed. So if you don't know, I am commuting via public transportation, which is a combination of my friend dropping me and my daughter off to the bus stop, and then we take 2 buses, and then I take from there, I can walk, and then I also am using Lyft. So those are my 3 modes of transportation. And when we're at the bus station, there's so many things that go on. There's so many crazy things that go on there, and usually I have to always use the bathroom. And I can't. My days are so mixed together. I don't know if it was last week leading into this week. Maybe it was Friday, or maybe, yeah, it had to be. I needed to go to the bathroom, and usually the kids, the teenagers, are always in there like getting high or rolling L's or whatever they're doing, and they take up the big bathroom, and they're all in there in groups and stuff. And I can never get in there. And the bus station has 2 bathrooms. I prefer the bigger bathroom. I usually can, if I get there at a certain time, I can get in there. If not, the cleaning lady always blocks the bigger bathroom off, and the smaller bathroom is the only bathroom that's available. So on this day, I feel like it was Friday. It had to be Friday. Only the small bathroom was available, and I really had to use the bathroom so bad, okay? And usually I go in there, like fix my hair, try to get myself together, and the bathroom stall was locked. So I was like, dag. And on Fridays, it was Friday, because every Friday I give my daughter Dunkin' Donuts because she likes the hash browns from Dunkin' Donuts, but I only get them once a week. So on Fridays is the day that I treat her to Dunkin' Donuts. So I'm like, screw it, baby, let's go stand in Dunkin' Donuts, because usually that line is long. The line wasn't long, everything went good. I'm like, by the time we come back, the bathroom should be available. And I will get to y'all comments in a second. Let me get through my story. And I went back, and the stall was still closed. And I remember looking, I'm like, there's somebody in here with white shoes, white sneakers. Look at the white shoes. Martin. Anyways, so I'm like, dog, same person still in here. Like, what are they doing? And I was getting so frustrated. Something told me to, like, put my head down. I put my head down to look, and there was a person, a lady, sleeping. She's literally sleeping in infant position on the floor. So I go from frustrated to being concerned. I'm like, dang, like either this lady is really asleep and she's homeless. There'd be a lot of homeless people at the bus station, and I don't judge. And I'm like, or she's like high or on something, and there could be something going on. So I went and told the security person, like, oh, there's somebody like sleeping on the floor. I'm gonna assume they're sleeping, but something could be wrong. Like, could you go in there and check? And I was like, screw it, this is a sign that I'm not supposed to use the bathroom, because I don't know, I just couldn't get in the bathroom. So we went and we waited inside where you wait for the buses. And the lady comes out. Now, I've seen this lady several times because I'm here Monday through Friday. I see her all the time. She is homeless, and she's always begging people for cigarettes, for money, to buy them coffee or donuts or whatever. Any and everybody, like the bus people, anybody. So she comes out, and I'm talking to another lady. We were both waiting for the bathroom. We ended up not being able to use the bathroom, and we're talking. We had a conversation about whatever, and like she literally comes like in our space. And when people want something from you, when people are being beggars and they want something, they can look you in the eye. They can be so nice, so pleasant. And she was like, oh, good morning. How are y'all feeling today? How are you doing? In my head, I knew that she was like either going to ask for money or coffee or something. So we just kept the conversation going. I wasn't rude. I was just like, hi. We went back to the conversation. Then she literally sat next. You know how you can feel somebody staring at you? So she's staring at me, but she interrupted the conversation and asked the lady like, oh, could you please buy me a coffee? And the lady's like, no. And she left. She literally left from our conversation. So I was like, come on, baby, we're going to go wait outside. And as I'm walking, she's like, could you please, are you able to spare a couple dollars so I could get a coffee? And literally, I only had a couple minutes to get to the bus. I was like, no, not at this time. And I kept it moving. As I was walking out, I was like, when I come back down here, because sometimes I get back on the bus and I go back down, I'm like, if I see her when I come back, I'll give her a couple dollars. Like, I don't care. I think I had like $4 in my purse, but with my daughter and all the stuff going on, it was just gonna take up time and make me miss the bus, and I can't miss that bus at that time. Anyways, went back down there later on in the day, and I seen her. She was still sitting here. I'm like, damn, she's still down here, because it was like after 12 at that point in time, and I had to use the bathroom again. So I went to use the bathroom. I'm like, dang, I looked at my purse. I'm like, yep, I got $4 right here. I'm like, when I finish the bathroom, I'm gonna go give her the $4. I don't care what she does with it. She might not get coffee. She might bum some cigarettes. I don't know. But I'm just like, I'm just going to follow through, because she did ask. I have this thing that a closed mouth doesn't get fed. And because I went through what I went through, and because I'm just a giver. And if people ask me, I'm not just going to randomly be like, here. But if somebody asks, I don't mind blessing them with a couple dollars, because it's a couple dollars. Who cares? Like, I'm not tied to like what they're going to use it for, or make sure, or I'm not going to go out my way and be like, make sure you get this coffee. I don't care. So I was like, if I go back out here, I'm going to give her the money. Funny thing is, I went back out after I used the bathroom. All of a sudden, she wasn't there. I walked around, looked for her, couldn't find her nowhere, okay? So I was like, you know what? I think that was a sign that I wasn't supposed to give her that money. That was a sign. This was on Friday. This morning, me and my daughter outside, because it was very beautiful again this morning. So we didn't wait inside. We waited outside. Waiting outside for the bus to come, and I see her walking. She's all like shivering, pretending to be cold. It's not cold, mind you. It's very nice this morning. And she goes up to a lady that's smoking a cigarette and is like asking the lady, can she got a cigarette? And the lady's like, no. But then I see the lady literally give her the cigarette that she has. And I hear God tell me, reach into your bag and give her what you got. I knew I had $5. I knew I had $10, 2 5s. So I was like, I'm about to bless her with $5. I'm like, this is $1 more than what I was going to give her last time. And God said, watch how she interacts with you this time when you're going to give her money. So I seen her, she was kind of walking towards where we are. I literally went in my purse, got $5, and then I was walking towards her. I was like, excuse me, come here. And she came right over to me, and I was like, here you go. The other day I was down here, you asked me for money to get a coffee, and I'm like, here's $5. Like, I didn't have, I was moving last time, so here's $5. I hope you get a coffee. You look cold this morning. Good morning, how you doing? She didn't tell me good morning. She didn't even look me in my eyes. She literally snatched the $5 out of my hands and like twisted her body and was like, thank you. She at least said thank you, but I definitely noticed that she didn't look me in my eyes. She didn't say good morning. She didn't say, oh my goodness, God bless you, thank you so much. Like, She didn't say nothing as to how she was trying to be all nice and caring, concerning, and how she was interacting with me on Friday. And the other lady, when people want something, they know how to put on the waterworks. They know how to tell you amazing sob stories, and they know how to look you in your eyes and show you respect because they want something. She wasn't planning on asking me for anything. She might not have even wanted nothing at the time, but when she wants something, she knows, yeah, mass, thank you very much, very much mass. So I just said, I hope you have an amazing day, God bless you. She didn't turn around and say thank you, likewise, nothing. So I was like, oh, okay. And it made me think of that quote. That's a quote. It's not my quote. I don't remember where I got that quote from, but I have an infatuation with quotes, and like once I learn something, it sticks with me. So I was like, you know what? I don't know how long me and my daughter are going to be taking the bus. I don't know how I'm going to be at this bus station, but every day I'm at this bus station, I have like so many different encounters on the bus. I meet so many nice people. I go through like all these transitions of like, God, like, why do you got me on the bus? Like, you're trying to humble me when I first had to take the bus. And not that I feel like the bus is beneath me, but I never had to take public transportation before in my life. And so whatever I thought has not been my experience. So it's always a learning experience. It's always me keeping my eyes open, my ears open, and my head on a swivel. But I'm like, this lady, I'm going to see her again. And the next time I see her, I'm not going to bless her. I'm not going to bless her. Never beg a blesser to be blessed. Like, I went out of my way. Now I'm giving you $1 more than what I was going to give you last time. Not that I'm keeping track of money. Not that I care about money. It's just the gesture. It's just, are you being genuine? Yes, you are in a hard spot. And I never go out of my way to give people who are having a hard time a harder time. But it's just, where's your appreciation? Where's the genuine? Like, people don't have to go out their way and give you money or do anything. Like yesterday, I took a lift home. Me and my daughter, we take 2 buses, and then I take a lift. My friend's not able to pick us up, like how she is able to drop us off in the morning at the bus station. So I take a lift back to the house after we take the 2 buses. And the person who picked me up, they were very social. They were very nice. And I've been wanting to know how Lyft works. So I happened to ask him, like, oh, how does Lyft work? Because every day I take it back to the house from the same spot. Me and my daughter get off the bus, and it's always a different price. Like, how does this work? And so he was explaining to me, like, oh, it's demand. If there's a lot of drivers readily available, but there's not a demand for people taking lifts, you'll pay less. But if there is less drivers and a lot of people looking for a ride, you'll pay more. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. So we had a whole conversation, and he was like, wow, you're so nice. And he was like, I'm always trying to have a conversation with people. And he was like, people don't want to talk, or like they get in my car and I'm like, hey, how you doing? They won't greet me. And he was, and then I happened to ask him, I was like, well, you're nice too. I was like, I go with the flow. If people seem like they want to communicate with me, I'll communicate with them. If they seem like they just want to be silent, I'll just be silent. I kind of just go with the vibes. And I'm like, and I always give a tip. But I'm like, actually, the other day, I didn't give a lady a tip because the lady, she came and picked us up. And I was like, hi, how you doing? She didn't acknowledge me or my daughter. She didn't say hi. When we got out the car, I said, thank you so much. Like, I hope you have a good day. She didn't acknowledge. She didn't say nothing. So I literally didn't give that lady a tip. And I'm not even in a position where I could be tipping people. But I don't think about, like, the position of where I'm at right now. I don't think about that. I don't think about how limited my funds are, because I don't live in lack. I don't live in a lack mentality. No matter what my reality is, I always living in my future, and I will always tip somebody whether I got it or not, whether it's $2, $3, $5. I ended up tipping that guy yesterday $5 just because he had a nice conversation with me, and he drove us up the driveway to the door. He didn't have to do that. And he was like, I hope that the rest of my time, because like I just started Lyft a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, you were such a pleasure. And he was like, I hope that I have more people like this so that I will want to stay doing this job. He was like, because honestly, it doesn't pay a lot, and people, they never tip. And so I was like, dang, like I always try to tip, even if it's $2, a couple dollars, unless I have a bad experience. And I was like, I hope that you do have more people like me, and I hope that I take it every single day after we like take the bus. And I try to break it down to like, the other thing with the bus, side note, is the bus is free. I don't know why, but the bus is free. I have not taken the bus ever in my life, yo. Even when I was a kid, I never took like the city bus, never. And I did feel like, oh, I don't want to get on the bus. Funny thing is, last year, I think they started like free summers last year or the year before, when I was still at the house with my daughter's father. And my daughter was watching cartoon where, you know, she shows and they see where the bus is pulling down. So I was taking her experiences of what she was watching from cartoons and wanted her to engage with that in real life. And I remember he kept stopping us trying to get on the bus, and I was like, Dad, like, the bus is free, who cares? Like, I just want her to be able to pull the thing down. This person tried to tell me like the buses are digital now. They didn't even have those anymore. And it was like every time I try to get on the bus, he tried to stop me. So it's very funny now that I have to take the bus with my daughter and she gets to do those things. And I'm like, I remember doing a whole story in that, because I'm like, this person who's never been on the bus, 2025 has taught me so much. I have so many lessons. One of my lessons is for me to stop listening to people that I'm smarter than. I listen and take advice from people that I'm smarter than, and people that I would go and do things that they think are beneath them. I would just do things for the experience. You never know who you're going to meet, the conversations you're going to have. You never know how you're going to be blessed from just doing things and experiencing things. So I just wanted to do the experience with my daughter. And I'm like, Dad, and the bus is free. So it's funny that now I have to take the bus, and the bus is free. The bus was supposed to stop being free in September of this year. And for some reason, it got extended to June of 2026. And I'm like, yo, June 2026 is going to be a very interesting time for me, because June of 2025 is so many things happen with me, and I got an extended stay with my friend. I was supposed to be going to stay in a shelter, and the shelter refused me and my daughter. And my friend was like, it doesn't matter, stay here with us and, you know, just get yourself back together. And I think like by June of 2026, we're going to be moving. I don't think we're going to be here. I don't think we're going to be at this school anymore. My daughter started a new school every single year, and I have a thing with threes. It's a whole thing. So I was like, that lady, when I see her again at the bus, when she asks me for money or to buy her a coffee or anything, I'm just gonna politely say, lo siento, no tengo. She didn't even know I speak Spanish, because there was no gratitude. Like, it costs you nothing to say thank you, like, have a good day, like, oh wow, you really blessed me. It cost nothing, yo. And she didn't do any of that. And she didn't even look me in my eyes when she took the money. You could have at least looked me in my eyes. So I was like, wow, okay, funny. And so life is always teaching you a lesson. Let me check it with y'all, and I have another story. All right, Keith, you be my person, yo. I fucks with you, Keith. Thank you so much. Thank you, Eric, for getting on beautiful nails, and I'm attracted by your self-esteem. You're always telling me good feedback too. I appreciate that. Can you tell me a little bit more about that friend? What friend? What friend, Keith? Hold on. Let me read the rest of your comments. They require nervous system healing, not a smoke or a few dollars, I'm afraid. Yeah, you're true. That's true. That's right. But you know what? I'm not in that position to I'm not in the position to heal people. I'm in the position, and I'm not even in the position to bless people, but I try to bless people with my words via conversation. And if I got it, if you ask, and I got a couple dollars, I don't attach myself to money. When you're trying to hold on and be like, I don't got it, or you're trying to make people embarrass themselves or do something to like earn a dollar, I don't do that. And I don't try to be like, oh, I'm not gonna give it to them because they're gonna go blow it on smoke or drink or get high, or she not gonna follow through and get the coffee, or try to be like, let me go with you to buy the. I don't do that, because let me explain something to you that I learned well before I got in this position. When you bless somebody, you can't worry about what they do with the blessing. You just got to continue to be the blesser. You just have to bless people you just got to be a blessing to people. Now, if you see that somebody's not being receptive of your blessing, or they're not even thanking you or showing appreciation or gratitude, then you no longer bless those people, because they need to learn whatever lessons they need to learn. But it's not going to block me from blessing the next person. Like today, I went in the store. Now there's another lady. I'll get back to your other comments, Keith. I'm so sorry. There's another lady that I see at the bus station. I don't know if she's homeless or not, but she's like a big heavy set lady, and she's always eating, and she looks very dingy, dirty. People don't talk to her. People are mean to her. She was wearing a sunflower, and I love sunflowers. I'm obsessed with sunflowers. I love sunflowers. And I forget, it was like a poncho or something. And so I happened like a couple weeks ago, we were down there waiting for the bus. My daughter got sick at school, and we had to like get on the bus. So I see her usually in the afternoon, but she happened to be there. And so I just complimented her on there. I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, I love your sunflower, whatever it was. And so she was like, oh, thank you. And it started this whole conversation just for me complimenting her. And I make it a habit that when I'm talking to people and I see you so many times, I always ask people their name, and I always remember their name. So her name happens to be Rose. This morning, I haven't seen Rose since that conversation of complimenting her. Oh, the bugs are attracted to me since that conversation. And so after I gave, what's her name? I don't even know that lady's name that I gave the $5 to about the coffee. When after I gave her that and I noticed that, my attention immediately, I see Rose. So I went over to her and I'm like, good morning, Rose. And like, she looked shocked, like somebody's talking to me. And then she was like, oh my gosh, how are you doing? And I'm like, well, it's so good to see you. And she was like, oh, enjoy the weather today. It's going to be beautiful. And she's like, make sure you have a great, amazing day and stay blessed. And I was like, likewise, Rose. On my commute today, I'm in the convenience store. And I always go in there and get myself 2 Celsiuses and 2 bags of chips to like make it through the day until I pick up my daughter. I happen to look up and I see they have some roses, like some single stem roses. And it made me think of her. And I was like, how much are the roses? And they're like $2.99. And I was like, Dad, you got to keep them in water. And the guy's like, no, they're actually like, they don't die, whatever the terminology is. So I was like, oh, give me one. So I have this rose in my bag right here for Rose, because I know I'm going to see her again. I know I'm going to see her. And this Rose, she's going to be so grateful and appreciative of this Rose, because I thought about her. Her name is Rose. Now, if somebody gives me roses, I hate roses. I'm not the typical girl. I don't like roses. But this is something cute. It's not going to die. She could keep it with her as a memory, or just like something to be great. I know. And this is not money. This shit is plastic rose. She's going to be so thankful and grateful of it. I just know that she is. And so, like, I'm always thinking about other people and wanting to do nice things for people. Not for nothing in return. It's just who I am. And, like, the situation that I went through, that almost, like, made my heart cold. Made my heart black. It made me be like, fuck people, yo. Like, people always taking advantage of me or using me or taking my niceness for, like, I can't. I just gotta be who I am. And the situation that I went through makes me stronger and makes me be able to read and pick up on things, test people all the time to see who to continue to bless and who to not allow to play in my face like that lady did this morning. So I'm gonna always give people money. Wait till God blesses me with it. Which makes me think of another story. I have a whole thing with numbers. I'm really into numerology, and like my friend that I'm staying with, her husband, I have this whole thing with the lottery, y'all. People do not believe me. I'm going to win the lottery. It's just a part of my DNA. Nobody believes me, and I don't want to get too deep into the story because I'll be out here forever. But anyways, I have these numbers. So I played the Mega Millions this morning, which is funny because I was just playing power. Everything's always happening to me. I'll save it for another story time. Anyways, I sat there, ate my chips. 2 ladies come in, and they both have different perspectives, and I'm just listening to their conversation, and this lady is playing like 101 different numbers, and I'm like, see, people don't be focused. I have this one set of numbers. God gave me these numbers, yo. And I have this whole other thing, like I have this ticket I'm playing, because God, it's just all in my own alignment. Anyways, I'm listening to the ladies talk, and one of the ladies, like, she comes in, she plays these numbers, she comes back out, and she comes back in with more numbers. She spent like $300 playing numbers this morning. I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. I'm just sitting there watching this shit. Like, this shit is wild. So I'm more interested in their conversation, because the other lady's telling her about how she comes there and she always plays this crossword ticket. She was like, oh, I won $2,000 the other day playing the crossword ticket. Now I'm watching, the lady is like, oh, crosswords, and she's looking at the lower number crossword tickets, you know, the like 1s and 2s and 5s, and she's like, oh, which one, because I'm about to get one right now. And then she's like, oh, this one up here. She's like, I always pay. She's like, it's a $20 ticket. And so she's like, I don't know what it is, but the $20 tickets, you always win on those. She's like, I never win on the 1s, 2s, and fews, so I never buy them. And so the lady was like, I ain't spending $20 on no ticket. But she just spent how many 20s on buying numbers, random numbers. And she was just like telling the guy to pick numbers and just thinking of numbers off the top of her head. So I'm just like watching this. And and then the lady said, like, what would you do if you won? I don't even know what they were playing. They might have been playing Powerball, Mega Millions. I don't know, because I just got into playing the numbers. But she was like, what are you going to do with all that money if you win? And then the lady that won on the $20 ticket, she's like, I don't know, but I sure could think of something. And then she asked her, what would she do with all that money? And then her first response was, she's like, immediately I would buy myself a new car. And I think these ladies are friends, because she was like, why would you buy yourself a new car and you already got a new car? She was like, just cause I would buy myself a new car. And then the other lady, she was like, I wouldn't. She was like, I got my old rusty dusty car outside. And she was like, she was like, it still drives, it still runs, I'm gonna drive it till the wheels run off. She was like, I would not buy a new car. And then the lady's like, well, what would you do with the money? And she was like, I don't know. She was like, I'd do something nice for myself, and then I would do stuff for other people. And the other lady was like, I ain't doing that for other people. All that money, she was like, I'll be like living the life. And she was like, I'll just be living the life for me. And then the lady who was the winner on the ticket, she was like, well, you know, one person doesn't need all that money. She was like, I would just live a comfortable life. And she was like, I would help other people. And I was like, dag, like, I'm watching this shit in real time, and I'm resonating with this lady. Why is she winning? Because she understands that you have to pay in order to play. You're not going to win on the 1s and 2s and fews. Not to say that you can't, but this lady who's trying to spend big bucks on these numbers of probability that is slim to none, and she was just like, I don't see the value in paying a $20 ticket, because she's holding on to the $20 more than what she can win on. If this lady won $2,000 from playing $20 ticket, and you, like, people, that's how my ex is. Don't make me start talking about him. Anyway. She didn't understand it. And then I was listening to the way that this lady talks. I always tell you that words are so powerful, and the way that you speak is the things that you attract. So I started to pay attention to how the lady, who I think is kind of miserable at her core, was talking. So people come into that convenience store, and they all know each other. It's all older people. So everyone that came in, they were like, hey, whatever her name was. And so she was like, hey, and her responses were all typical. They were like, how you doing today? And she was like, I'm doing. It's like, what does that even mean? Like, you should be intentional about how you respond to people. Like, when people ask me how I'm doing, I say, I'm well and always improving. Thanks you so much for asking. How are you? And I get the strangest looks, and I know why people are looking at me like that, because you expect me to just be like, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm doing. Like, that's not intentional, that's not lively, it's just kind of like you're dead inside. And so I was like, this lady has no life to her. And then somebody else came in, and they were like, what did they ask her? Not how I'm doing. I think they said, how's it going? And she was like, it's going. I was just sitting there eating it was like I was watching a movie, even though I'm watching these people. That's why I'm saying, like, life is a big game for me, and I'm always experimenting, listening, watching shit, listening to things, and keeping my head on a swivel. So I was like, this lady with her energy, she would never be able to win the lottery and win big money or win anything. She'll always be spending and hoping. Also, the other thing is, she talks to the lady, she went over to the lady, and she whispered something. I don't know what she whispered to her, but the lady who was the winner turned around and was like, "You think so?" And she was like, with conviction at first, she was like, "I don't think so, I know so." And it changed how the lady received it. She was like, "Oh my goodness." She was like, "Well, I'm really gonna believe it now because you know what you're talking about. You said that with so much conviction." And as she walked away, I don't know what happened, but then she turned around and she said, "Well, I don't really know, I just believe so." And you could see that it changed how the lady received it. I wanted to interject and be like, don't change your, but I don't know those people, and I could have, but I could just see that that lady was just like not naturally happy, and she's just like living in her own misery. So I didn't get involved. They just sat there and people watched, but it was very interesting to just intake and watch that. And I was like, I could just really read people. It's pretty awesome. But I went on a whole thing, but I was so excited to just share the things that happened to me today. Keith, you said, if I buy someone a coffee, it will cost them a restorative conversation first. Why? If you want to do something for somebody, just do it. Why should it cost them something if that's what you're just doing genuinely or authentically? Like, I don't operate on a quid pro quo basis, and that's what makes me different from a lot of people. If I'm gonna do something for somebody, I'm just gonna do it. There's no quid pro quo. Like, you don't have to do something in order for me to do it. That means it's not being authentic. Laws of motion, right? It depends on what laws of motion you're talking about. I don't like laws, number one. I don't like laws, rules. I'm such a rebel. I don't know. I don't agree with that. A man asked for $4. He was having an active COPD attack. I used my verbal medicine skills to help him. You helped him with the attack, or you gave him the $4? Which one? Sometimes it's more about how it blessed us sometimes. Yes, I agree with that. Body language was definitely off, Mass. You wasn't the mark that day. That's a funny saying. She was trying to mark my ass. But that's okay. I always got the one up. I have a whole book that I'm gonna write. Like, I got the one up. I always have the one up. Nobody's ever getting over on me. They may think, and I give them enough rope. How my analogy yesterday, I give people enough rope to think that they think that they're smarter than me, and that they think I'm an airhead, or they think I'm gullible and naive. I'm not. I just want to see how selfish people really are. But I learned a valuable lesson. I don't have to waste my time or give you too much of my time to see that. Like, I can read it, I can see it. I just be wanting to see how far will somebody go, and then it end up costing me. And the fact that it almost cost me my life, my brain, my child, I can't afford to do that no more. I just see you for who you are. I give you one time to play with me, and then I say, that's it. That's it. As you enjoy reading these words, realize how you just automatically and naturally adapt, improvise, and overcome to naturally avoid harmful intentions with every healing back. Facts. Thank you for the affirmation. Body language. Yes, I am a master at reading people's body language, paraverbals, nonverbals, all the verbals. Most desired, band-aids, cash, cigs. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's why I'm not attached to money. I'll give people money, and they don't use it for what they asked for. That's on them. Like, they wasted the blessing. I don't worry about how they didn't, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just bless people, whatever. Because the more you bless others, the more blessed you will be, and the more things you will have to be able, the more positions you'll be put in to bless other people. You can't be selfish. You can't hold on to if people didn't do what they said and they didn't follow through. You just continue to follow through and do what you're supposed to do. I don't carry a bunch of cash for this reason. Why? Because people are going to ask you for it. Yo, I'm going to carry cash all the time. I always want to. I have a thing that I'm doing right now. I have envelopes that I'm creating, and I'm writing affirmations on them. And it's just for those people that, like, when I'm out and about, people are always going to ask for a handout. People are always going to ask for help. And people are always going to ask for money. The other day, just yesterday, I was on my bus, and the guy asked me, he was like, I don't know what it is, but They may just have like, she's got it or she's gonna give it to me. But and I don't even understand why people would ask for it. He said, "Excuse me, ma'am, do you have 50 cents?" And I literally didn't have any cash on me because I was on my way in transition to go to the bank. I like to carry cash on me if I can. I don't really necessarily like to use my card. I'm not into that whole digital. I don't like that. So I literally didn't have any cash. And I was like, I think I used all my change, honestly. I looked and I had like $2, a little over $2 and some change. So I just gave it to him. I'm like, oh, I have some change. So here is like a little over $2. And he was like, thank you so much. Like, I need to get myself something to eat and I'm hungry. And I was like, no worries. I wish I had a few dollars to give you, but I don't have any cash. So that's all I got. And be blessed. And he was just like so thankful. But like, even when people are asking for a quarter or a dollar, I just be like, people who don't give it, and like you went into the store and you bought yourself chips and sodas and cigarettes and scratch offs and all that stuff, and you won't give somebody a quarter or a dollar, or you're just or you're holding on to your dollars, you just give them 50 cents. Like 50 cents is not doing anything for somebody. And it's just like people hold on to money, and that's why they don't get more of it. And that's why they don't get blessed, because they don't bless other people. When you're coming out and people are asking you for something, you're being tested by God and the universe all the time. So when you have your own stipulation and rules and all this stupid shit, it's blocking your own blessings. It's blocking you from leveling up in your own life, because you are so attached to money and so attached to what the person's going to do with the money, or why they're asking for it, or they shouldn't be outside asking nobody for whatever your ideology is. You're going to block your own level up like that. You're going to block your own blessings. I promise you. God's going to use me as an example, and God's going to put me on a display to prove what I'm saying to people. Right now, I'm making envelopes with cool affirmations on them, and they each have 10 singles on them. I remember my ex told me that he would never give somebody $10 just because. He was like, they would have to do a trick or a jump or a magic trick or a dance or something for me to do that for them. And I was just like, wow, how the fuck could you say that when me and you both was almost homeless if it wasn't for your mom? Like you won't even give somebody $1, let alone $10. He was like, oh, you're just nice. So, and I'm not just going to go around and give out money, because I'm not at that level in life. When I get to that level in life, I will just go out and give money and give to charity or create my own charities or do things for people. But right now, I want to carry 3 envelopes on me a day with $10 in them each. And if somebody asks me, excuse me, ma'am, do you have a dollar or a quarter or whatever, they're going to ask you for the bare fucking minimum anyways. Because I think people that ask for money, they have to swallow so much of their pride to ask for a money or something to drink or something, because they're having a hard time. How dare you, who may be having your own hard time but are in a better position than them, clearly give them a harder time, or be like, I'll do this first, but you got to do this first. I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. So I do agree, like, a closed mouth don't get fed. You do have to ask for help. You do need to swallow your pride or do whatever. But I feel like people who stand outside with a sign, whether they need it or not, like, that takes a lot of swallowing your pride and asking for fucking help, man. You gotta help people. We're all here to help people. So when somebody asks me, I have my envelopes, and I just bless them. And the envelope says something cool, something probably they needed to hear, some motivation, some affirmation, something to help them. And then here, you get more than what you asked for. You asked for fucking 50 cents. It's not going to do nothing. And $10 is not going to do nothing either, but it's more than what you expected. It might motivate you. It might give you some inspiration. You have to speak that over people. You have to speak life over people. You have to give them a reason to, like, want to do some shit for themselves. People are having a hard time, and if they're on the streets and they're hungry and they're thirsty or whatever the fucking shit is, and you're just out here living by whatever ideology that works for you, then you do that. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. I'm here to share my story and how my heart is and the things that I want to do, and I want to help people. That's why I became a nurse. I became a nurse because I was like, oh, I know what it's like to need help and nobody helps me. I know what it's like to go without, and I want something and nobody will give it to me. Or they have these stupid ideologies and these rules and these laws and all this stupid shit. So, and I know what it's like to be sick and be around people that would just be like, help yourself. But it's like, damn, I'm fucked up. I'm sick. I can't even get out the bed. Will you at least help me? And you're right here. I just went through that as a mom, as a first time mom, needing help while I'm bedridden. And the people around me wouldn't help me. And I had to be on crutches, and I had to put my daughter in a car seat and take myself by the crutches and pick up a car seat and go into the bathroom and shower while her father sat there, and while the grandmother would come and be like, welcome to motherhood. Are you fucking kidding me? I will never be like majority 99% of the people who think that they're better than people because they got a J-O-fucking-B that you could lose at any time of the day. And then what? You will be in the unemployment line or the welfare line, or God might fucking block your blessings because you're not out here being a blessing to other people or helping people just genuinely, authentically, naturally, and then you will switch positions. The tables can easily turn. You could easily be homeless. You could easily be without. You could easily be fucking hungry. And then what? You'd be wanting somebody to help you. You would have to swallow your pride and ask somebody for $1, or could you buy me something to eat, or buy me something to drink? And how would you feel if somebody says, dance? How would you feel if somebody said, here's a quarter? What the fuck is a quarter gonna do for you? You can't even buy a bag of chips. Chips that used to be 25 cents are now 50 cents. So it could always be you. You need to operate like that. It could always be you. And if somebody asked for something, it took them a lot to swallow their pride and ask, because it's hard to ask for anything, let alone fucking help. Yo, that shit gets me fucking pissed. But that's why I'm gonna continue to give and do for people and bless them with more than what they asked for. And it's even on a small scale, even in a position that I don't have to do it. You think I had the $5 to give that lady this morning? I didn't. I took out that money so that later today I can buy my daughter fucking Burger King, because by the time we get back to the house, it's gonna be 7 o'clock and it's gonna be too late. We usually eat at 5 o'clock. I usually get back to the house at 4:45, and I usually try to make some dinner real fast and having us eat between 5 and 6 at a respectable time at the house in the space that I'm sharing. By the time I get back to the house today, I'm not gonna be able to cook dinner. It's gonna be too late, and I'm gonna need to get my daughter in the bath. So yesterday I went, after I got off the bus and gave that me and the rest of the change that I had, I got off the bus and then I had to walk across town over to get to my bank, and I ended up being able, thank God, to take out $50. And the ATM usually just gives me one $50 bill. Everything happens for a reason. The ATMs, if you didn't know, the ATMs do not give out $10 and $100 bills because they weigh different. It's something about it cuts down on theft. So I was like, damn, I'm gonna take out $50, and I really, it's my last $50, but I'm like, and it's only gonna give me a $50 bill. The ATM gave me 2 20s and 2 5s. And I was like, damn, that's funny. When I had to look at it, because I was like, no, this shit did not just give me a $10 bill. When I remember being educated on the ATMs will not give $10 and $100 because there's something wrong with the weight of it doesn't gives you tens and hundreds. So I was like, damn, this shit just gave me 2 5s for a reason. And I wanted to do $5 to play the Mega Millions. And I was like, I'm going to use the other 5 to get my daughter some Burger King, because my daughter will only eat French fries from Burger King. She won't eat nothing else. I get her 2 French fries and usually a drink or something, but the French fries are always $5 for the 2 fries, and that's enough for my daughter. So I gave it away today. Now look at this. I told you that I'm playing the lottery sporadically when life allows me to, because God's telling me to play a certain ticket. And then I'm in the house with these people that have a whole story about how they were supposed to hit the lottery and somebody didn't play the tickets for them. And I have a set of numbers and they gave me their set of numbers. So, and I was like, what did you end up playing? Mega Millions. So I've been playing the Powerball out of alignment. So I was like, I have this $5 to play the Mega Millions, and I got the $5 to get my daughter Burger King later. And I been had a scratch ticket that I had for like the past 2 weeks. I haven't scratched it. So I sat in there while I was listening to those ladies go back and forth about their fuckery this morning, and I won $100 on the scratch ticket. Money comes and goes, and you can't hold on to twos and fews if you're trying to be blessed with more money than you can fucking count. Money always comes and money always goes, and it's meant to use as a tool, and it's meant to use to help yourself and help other people. So what if I would have seen that lady this morning and I'm like, screw that lady, like I ain't giving her $5 because whatever God told me, I did exactly what God told me to do. He said, give her $5 and see how she interacts with you today, because she ain't expecting it. So a lesson was learned, and I got blessed with $100, and I was able to go buy my daughter some more oil for her skin and some other stuff, and now I can get myself something to eat if I choose to do that when we're out to eat, because I'm just like, I got enough to get my baby something to eat. So you see how life works? You can't be out here counting and keeping track of shit. You just gotta give. You just gotta be a giver. You're either a giver or a taker or a manipulator of some sorts. And I'm not a taker, and I damn sure ain't a manipulator, and I don't be out here playing games and play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I don't operate like that. And so I hope that I inspire other people to not operate like that and to just be their genuine, authentic self. And if your genuine, authentic self is to operate by laws and rules and regulations and making up your own shit, I don't operate like that. We weren't born for that. But if that's who you are, then that's who you are, and I'm not knocking it. I still fucks with you. It's just I'm not like that, and I hope to inspire change, that maybe you have a change of heart from the words that I say. Okay. I fucks with y'all. Those who stuck around, I thank you for the likes. Thank you for the engagement. There's a bunch of interesting people on the bus. Feed the values that feed your spirit. Indeed, I'm a healer, so my code is different. I fucks with you. I will look into your eyes every time you bless me. Oh, wait. What comment did you put here prior? I don't see it. You are wearing my birthstone color around your eyes and ears. It looks amazing on you. Oh, I have a whole thing with blue. I didn't know. When are you born? Because my birthstone is blue too, but it's December. I think blue is also September. I have a thing that told me I need to get topaz. Topaz, I hope you say that right. But thank you for the compliment. I'm glad that I inspire you. I do the magic trick, buddy. I only mean my healing words will help more along with the funds. I know what you mean, Keith. It just struck a chord in me. So, I'm always using everything. My life, other people's words, other people's feedback as a fucking teachable moment. Thank you, Eric. Beautiful nails. You helped him with the color breathing market. With the attack. Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like you always got to be helping people, man. Help people. You know who's like the best example of helping people? Mr. Fred Rogers. If we had more Mr. Fred Rogers in the world would be a better place. And so I'm not Fred Rogers, but I'm India Russell. And so there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, thank God for India. That's why that's the name of my podcast. Because the things that I'm going to do, the people that I'm going to bless, the people that I'm going to inspire, motivate, encourage, the people's lives I'm going to change by the things that I'm just going to do without them asking me, without them expecting it. And even more when they do ask, that's gonna be their response. Thank God for India. I'm gonna inspire their masses. I'm gonna leave such a legacy that is just going to inspire and change the world. And I'm gonna be here to see it, to experience, to feel it, and it's gonna be even more impactful when I'm not here. And so that's what I wake up and live for. So no matter what I'm going through, I'm not afraid to share anything on here. I ain't afraid to say I was just almost homeless. I almost just went to a shelter. I almost just lost my life. I was poisoned by the person I love. Me and my daughter are living with technically strangers who are not strangers. It's somebody I used to work with when I was a nurse. When we both were nurses working in dialysis, I used to work with this lady, and now I'm living in her house with her and her family, and we're sharing space, and she's giving me a ride, and I'm taking 2 buses, and I was just walking in the summer. I was just walking, pushing my daughter who's 5, who's too big to be in a stroller, and I was just walking her across town to get her to summer school for 3 hours a day, where I would meet people in my travels, and the lady would tell me I would never get out of my bed and do that for my kid. Well, that's what makes me different than you, lady. because I'd get out my bed and I don't even have a bed. I'm sharing somebody's old bed with me and my daughter, and I'm using their old stroller for their daughter that they just happened to throw away, and their daughter is 9, about to be 10. And I'm walking across town to push my daughter to get her to school. It's taking me 2-3 hours to get her to school, just for 3 hours, and then I have to ask the teacher, please, can you hold this stroller because I can't push it around. I'm not afraid to share anything about my struggles or my things that I have to overcome or triumph, because it is for somebody else, it's not for me. So that was my story. That was my story time for today. I feel like something else happened to me today, but I think that was enough for today. Somebody told me yesterday that I'm glowing, and I did a story time. I just did like a little boomerang, and I put like, somebody told me I'm glowing. Then I got like so many inboxes like, yes, you are glowing, you are, something about you has changed, something about you has shifted. And I'm like I wasn't even expecting this feedback. And so life is good, life is transitioning me, life is positioning me. God is aligning me to where he is launching me and my daughter, and I feel that's gonna happen any day. Like, I'm not ending the year the same. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to get in alignment with talking to God, praying to God, because I prayed at the end of last year for my year to not start the same and for it to not end the same. And it definitely didn't start the same. And it's not to end the same because I'm ending the year at 40. So that's why I laugh. It doesn't matter where I'm at, where I'm walking, if I'm on the bus. If I see the number 40, I shout that shit. Like that man told me I sound like Yahtzee, and I ain't never even played Yahtzee. But I shout 40 every time I see it, anytime I hear it, anytime I read it. And so I'm ending the year 40 and starting the new year 2026, which is funny. I looked that up. I look up everything. This is the year of the snake, and there has been a lot of snakes that have been exposed, and there has been a lot of shedding going on with me. And 2026 is the year of the horse. More importantly, the fucking fire horse. And I'm a Sagittarius. I am half woman, half fucking horse, and I have a bow and arrow, the only sign of the zodiac with a fucking weapon, and the only person that's different in the whole entire fucking zodiac. And I'm a fucking fire sign, so don't you tell me that I'm not about to go into my abundance, especially because 2026 is a fire horse. A fucking, first of all, I have an obsession with horses. I want to go horseback riding. And my daughter loves horses, and I'm all in alignment with horses, and I'm all about fire. I am fire. So I was just like, oh, 2026 and beyond is about to be wild for me, which makes me think of the other thing that happened to me this morning. That lady who was complaining, she said, I can't wait until this year is over. I just did a video about that the other day, about how people start complaining about the year and that they can't wait for it to be over. And they have nothing to like lit. They like hate everything. They complain all day, all year, every month, every week. It's sickening. But something about the end of the year, the last 3 months, is just like, it gives people anxiety, and they just get more down in the dumps. They hate life. And it's just like, damn, you need to be thankful, because you might not even make it out this bitch to make it to next year. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Oh, December. Wait, I think you told me that. Why did I forget that? I'm so sorry, Aztec. You did tell me that you're a Sagittarius too, like me. I love you. Keith, you said, I'd rather heal deeply. Beautiful day in the neighborhood, isn't it? Well, Keith, I would highly suggest that you study Mr. Rogers and study his philosophies and study his impact that he left on the world, and also read up on his on his life and like things that he did on that show and how he listened to people and he healed a lot of people, specifically kids, which are the most important people to heal, because you out here trying to heal adults, people who are stuck in their fucking ways, and trying to give beautiful words to people who people don't care about words at the end of the day when if they're too far gone in their life. But kids do. Kids, words will inspire and change and motivate kids quicker than an adult. So what is you talking about? Mr. Rogers, do you know why Mr. Rogers at the end of every one of his episodes started to say, because he would feed fish at the end of every one of his episodes, and there was a girl, a blind girl who, was she blind? Yeah, she was blind. Somebody in her family wrote a letter, because people used to write letters to Mr. Rogers unprovoked. He didn't ask people to write letters. He just did because they loved his work and things that he did. And somebody wrote for the little girl that she was blind and she loved his show, and that she wasn't sure if he was feeding the fish, and she was worried about if the fish was getting food. So that's why if you go watch Mr. Rogers, okay, at the end of his show, he started saying, I'm feeding the fish for that one little blind girl, so that she knew, if comforted, that the fish that she couldn't see, that she just somehow knew was there getting fucking fed, that he was feeding them. That one little thing changed that little girl's life. Give her something to smile about and feel hopeful about, because she can't see. Sometimes you gotta be other people's voice and other people's words and other people's feelings. What are you talking about? Why am I going in on you today, Keith, about you and your healing energy? Healing is healing. You're just out here talking about Mr. Rogers ain't it. What are you talking about? You better go study Mr. Rogers, because Mr. Rogers is it. Everything that he did on that show was intentional. From the outfits that he wore, the sweaters, the cardigans, that shit comes from Mr. Rogers. Not fucking rappers, Jay-Z, and I'm putting down a button down and all that. That shit comes from Mr. Rogers. And everything he did on that show was intentional. From the way that the show starts, from him getting dressed, from him putting his shoes on, from the things that he said. Everything that Mr. Rogers says is nothing but beautiful words. What the fuck is you talking about? Yo, you just pissed me off with that. Go study Mr. Rogers and come back and have a conversation. Whew. Let me get off of here. Let me get off of here, because I feel my blood pressure rising, and I'm having an amazing day, and I'm really working on staying balanced and neutral. And you see how I just turned up? This is how I turn up with 100 more swears and 100 more amp when I have to deal with my daughter's father. He's talking to me about some stupid shit, and I gotta go in. I still fucks with you, Keith, but I'm sorry. You need to reject, rebuke, retract that fucking comment. Beautiful day in the neighborhood is it. Do you see how happy I be outside in the fucking neighborhood when the sun is shining on me? Happy. And it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day every day, but it's especially beautiful when the sun is shining. And I'm out and I'm meeting people no matter where I'm at. The bus, the library, the train station. It don't matter. Wherever I'm at, it's a beautiful fucking day in the neighborhood. I don't know what you're talking about and what made you possess you to say that. And now I'm really questioning you and your healing words. Is this propaganda? Because how the fuck could you say some shit about that, about Mr. Rogers, who did nothing but do beautiful words and affirmations and inspire people, more importantly, kids. You out here trying to inspire adults who are stuck in their fucking ways and don't want to fucking change. You're trying to make somebody change that don't want to fucking change. Make that shit add up. It doesn't. So you should be directing your beautiful words to people who actually want to hear that shit, which is usually kids, maybe teenagers, not fucking adults who are druggies and drunks and addicts and stuck in their fucking ways. You're wasting your time. But what do I know? Hope you do well today on your fucking live healing party. How many people do you got there that you're inspiring, that you're healing with your words? I hope a lot. I hope it gets there. I was on one of your lives. And your words do inspire me. But I am one of the rare. I'm one of the adults out here doing the work. You don't get the prize if you don't do the work. And I'm out here doing the work, looking for change, inspiring change, doing my own change. I'm not waiting for other people to change me or to come in my life and say something that's going to uplift me and spark a fucking thought-provoking thought in my life. I'm not doing that. But when I do it, when I did direct it, all my vegan stuff was all directed towards kids, because kids are in a state of constant change. They're looking for change. They're looking for motivation. They're looking for inspiration. They're looking for reasons to be positive, and they live in a childlike mentality. They're able to use their imagination. So your words are more impactful and more powerful on people who live in a childlike state, who are able to use their imagination, who are not infected and inflicted upon bullshit like waking up and starting their day with the news, having to get high or drunk or fucking woe is fucking me. So I'm really questioning some shit now. Now that really just grinded my fucking gears. And another thing is I try to work on not swearing as much. But goddamn. Sorry. It's a beautiful day in my neighborhood because you brought this live. Thank you, Aztec. Thank you. It's 12:30. I wanted to get on your live today, Keith. Yo, you just pissed me off. So I don't know if I'm going to get on your live, because how the fuck you don't like Mr. Rogers? The most positive, uplifting, healing word person to ever do it. Boy, miss me with that. Miss me with that. Anyways, I got to go because my phone's dying and I need to get across town. So I will leave you with my healing words that come from my life, my experience, my trauma, my abuse, shit I have suffered through and survived through. And I will always remind anybody, especially adults who are stuck in their ways, that nothing you suffered or survived through goes wasted. It will all be used to your fucking purpose. And with that being said, the most important 3 things that I think I will say on my lives at the end of my lives. Let me get my Mr. Rogers on. I'm not Mr. Rogers though, I'm Mrs. Russell. So let me get my Mrs. Russell on. Number 1, don't ever let anybody label you, including yourself. First and foremost, yourself. Don't let people label you. Those who label you want you to live in lack and limitations and not in your purpose. Those who want to label you want you to wake up and live and lead with a label and not your gift. They see something in you that you don't see in yourself, which is your gift, your purpose, and they don't want you to tap into that shit. So they try to label you. They try to keep you small, limited, restricted. So don't ever let anybody label you. And don't you damn sure don't label yourself. And I said, you are funny. You're the first person that ever told me that. Most people are afraid when I get mad or when I get this voice that somebody said I sound like a motivational speaker. And then they locked me up because of it. God gave me this voice, and I'll yell this shit whenever I fucking feel like it and dare somebody to fucking shut my ass up or try to fucking medicate me or sedate me or fucking label my ass. Okay? 2, don't ever in your life, don't let nobody put you in a box. Because those who try to put you in a box is simply because they can't get out of their sorry, sad ass fucking box. So they try to box you in because they're boxed in and they're miserable. And if your name ain't fucking Kathy Bates, you can miss me with that bullshit. Those who try to put you in a box will then try to put you in a ditch. Ask me how I know. And 3, don't forget to turn your life into a lifestyle. And the way to turn your life into a lifestyle is by taking your life into your own hands and participating in your own fucking rescue. Because absolutely, positively, nobody's coming to fucking save you. You must save yourself. And if you tap into yourself and out of the world, you tap out of that dumb shit, you tap out of the news, you tap out of the radio, you tap out of fucking partying and clubbing and smoking and drinking and being afraid to do shit on your own, being afraid to fucking change the narrative, being afraid to fucking create a legacy for your fucking last name, and being afraid to start being the head and not the fucking tail. If you tap into that shit and out of all that other fucking shit I just said and trying to be fucking regular, normal, standard, typical, if you tap out of that shit, you will in return save yourself from living the consequence, which is the life that your parents want you to live. And from the life that society tries to create for you to live in. And from the life that the school systems and the job systems try to mold your ass to live within. You were not born to work a job and pay bills and die. That's not your fucking purpose. You were born to live in your purpose. You were born to live your birthright, which is abundance, prosperity, and a life of fucking luxury. And it's your fucking job and your assignment to figure out what your purpose is. And the easiest way to figure out what your purpose is to figure out what problem you were born to solve. The world is full of fucking problems, and you were born to solve one of them. So as soon as you figure out what problem you were born to solve, the sooner you'll be living in your purpose, and you will automatically attract and live in your abundance, prosperity, and a life of fucking luxury for you and your fucking legacy and your family and your kids, and be able to wake up and do whatever the fuck you want to do, because time and money is keeping you restricted, and you deserve time freedom and money freedom, and the only way to do that is to fucking save yourself, turn your life into a lifestyle. And that's all I got for you today. Yo, I really like when I get pissed off. I like when I can just tap into this, whatever comes out, it be sounding good to me, and it sounds motivating and inspiring to me. And I know it sounds motivating and inspiring to other people. And I appreciate people like Aztec who will tell me that, wow, that was powerful. Wow, you inspire me. Wow, you motivate me. Wow, I don't want to be at this fucking job all day, every fucking day, just because I think that that's what the fuck I'm supposed to do, or what I was conditioned to do. We all were conditioned. We all were programs. You are responsible for getting your shit off that fucking program and creating your own. You are responsible from getting yourself out of the rat race. You. Ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. You gotta do it by tapping into yourself, reading more, changing your circle, even if your circle just starts with you. That's what it means to be the head and not the fucking tail. I could be on this shit, do the shit all fucking day, especially when I get pissed. Mr. Rogers ain't it. Wow, that's part of my mind-blowing miracle today. Mr. Rogers is it. Don't ever come on my page and say no shit like that again. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget, you both a limited edition and an endangered species, so start acting like it. Peace.